let me start with this po. In a televised debate, you challenged President Bongbong Marcos to undergo an open and transparent hair follicle drug testing. The president actually responded and said it has nothing to do with public trust. So what exactly do you hope to achieve with this repeated call, and why do you think it's so important for public officials to undergo this drug testing?
First of all, allow me to greet you and your viewers a very good morning, Tristan. And thank you for inviting me in your program. And second, yung sa iyong katanungan, alam mo, ang katotohanan, nauna yung interview niya bago lumabas yung debate. At yung debate na yan is just a response to the question propounded by GMA7 on whether or not I favor a mandatory drug testing for all elected and appointed public official. But of course, I am all for it. And I said that the testing should be done at all levels, all positions, beginning with the office of the president, down to the very last, not really the very least among the civil servants. So marapat lang naman na gawin natin yan sapagkat iba yung standard ng naglilingkod sa gobyerno, whether elected or appointed, sapagkat sila ay humihipo ng ating pera. At meron silang kapangyarihan na hindi ordinaryo at higit sa kapangyarihan o kakayahan ng mga pribadong individual. And I took that opportunity also to emphasize and to highlight, why is it that when you're applying as a security guard, you have to undergo not only drug tests, but even psychiatric tests or psychological tests? Why is it when you're applying for a gun license, you need to undergo a drug testing? And why is it when you're applying for a job as a driver of public utility buses, you have to submit a negative drug test? Why is it so hard for our elected and both appointed official to undergo such a testing when it is for the good of the community and the country that they would love to serve?
But of course, Attorney Vic, sabi nyo nga po, no, dapat lahat, simula sa pinakamataas na opisyal hanggang sa lahat ng kasapi ng gobyerno. But it can also be recalled that when you were then former executive secretary at nung tina-challenge po si President Marcos, you presented a drug test result clearing the president. Why this time, iba pong klaseng test ang feeling nyo dapat gawin ng Pangulo?
No, precisely. That's why my interest here is also personal because kini-question pati yung integridad ko dahil ako talaga, hindi may tatanggi yun. Ako talaga ang nagpresenta ng kanyang negative drug test sometime November of 2021. At hindi matigil-tigil yung istoryang niya, the story about him. So para matigil yan, sinisingil ako. Both his supporters, sinasabi ako raw ay maaring nagpresenta ng peking resulta. Yung mga kritiko niya, nagsasabi, baka naman parte ako ng pambubudol at nagpresenta ako ng mali o falsified na resulta. So once and for all, para matapos siyang kwentong yan, and so that I, and possibly him, can acquit himself from all this bintang at allegation and accusation, why not undergo an open, fair, transparent, and credible hair follicle drug test? And anyway, I stand by firm, hindi lamang sa drug testing na ito, kung hindi yung araw-araw na buhay ng lahat ng nanggagawa sa gobyerno, appointed ka man o elected, yung Article 11, Section 1. That public office is a public trust. And all officials, whether you're elected, more so, and whether you're appointed, must hold themselves accountable at all times to the people, including you, including me.
So you don't believe with the president saying na it has nothing to do with public trust, yung there's magiging resulta man ng drug follicle test?
Kung anong opinion niya at anong opinion ko eh. Now that he has responded at ayaw niya, let the people, let the ordinary Filipino form their own opinion. At hindi na mahalaga yung aking opinion. Ang akin, sinabi ko na lahat across the board, even Vice President Inday Sara, when she was challenged to undergo psychiatric test, pumayag siya at dinagdagan pa niya pati drug testing. Umatras naman yung mga naghahamon sa kanya eh. So bakit may pumapayag na hindi pumapayag? So let the public form their own opinion. Yun ang akin. But for my personal interest, gusto ko ring malaman, ako ba'y nabudol din o tamang hindi siya talaga dapat akusahan? Kaya nga sabi ko, pag nag-negative yan, ang sarap nyo na vindication sa kanya. Puntahan niya lahat na nag-akusa sa kanya. at tumatawag sa kanya ng kung ano-anong pangalan. Sampal niya yung resulta niya.
President Marcos, also during that same ambush interview last week, katulad nga po ng sabi nyo, natanong si Pangulo bago pa umere yung televised debate. But going back to what he said, following yung pagsasabi niya na it has nothing to do with public office and public trust, sabi niya rin po, or he even questioned your association with him in an official capacity. What is your response and how does actually describe your relationship with him ngayon? Ika nga, no love lost?
Magkasama kami. Matagal na panahon, magkasama kami. Ako nga ang nagpresenta nung kanyang drug test. Sapagkat ako'y naniniwala na tama yung aking presenta. Subalit patuloy itong kwentong ito at patindi ng patindi. So once and for all, tapusin na yan. Kung wala ka namang tinatago, bakit ka mangangamba? Wala ka namang tinatago, bakit ka mangangamba? Napakadali.
Attorney Vic, to clear the air, I know you've been asked this question a number of times, but help us understand what triggered your resignation then as executive secretary, even before you could fully function in your role, and what could be the difference or differences that would cause your separation from the president, whom you defended through the years in his presidential bid?
Kaming dalawa, wala kaming personal na pagkakadiferensya noon eh. It's just that there are so many sa palasyo, sa Malacanang, na astang Pangulo, feeling Pangulo, gusto maging Pangulo, wala namang mandato. At mali na yung direksyon. At even before, kami nag-oath noong June 30 of 2022. At yan ay nasa aking libro, yung Kingmaker, the hard copy. Isingit ko na. Still available in all the branches of Holy Book. Nakasulat dyan. Ilang beses na ako nagsabi, hindi ko kailangan yung ES. Kung magiging pagmumulan lang tayo ng friction dahil ang dami kong inaawat na gustong magpa-appoint, di naman qualified. Linabanan ko yun and all the time that I was in the office as Executive Secretary, linabanan ko yung mga naglalabing gustong magpa-appoint sa mga juicy positions pero hindi naman karapat-dapat. At doon nagsimula yung sinasabi kong hindi na ito naayon doon sa aming napag-usapan at pinangarap na one day sana palarin siya at maging Pangulo at gagawa kami ng tama at para sa interes ng sambayan ng Pilipino.
So to be clear, personally, wala po kayong away ni Pangulong Bongbong Marcos, but the people around him?
Oh yeah, wala kaming away. Na personal, wala kaming away.
Your fellow senatorial candidate, just to go back a bit doon po sa issue ng mandatory drug testing, and Labor leader Luke Espiritu has said that there are more pressing issues like poverty and inflation than mandatory drug testing for government officials. He even claimed that, even in his social media account, that this debate is being fueled by a Duterte-Marcos political feud. What's your response to this kind of sentiment?
You want the truth? You want the truth? Tanungin niyo yung GMA7, ba't yun ang tinanong sa amin? I have no control over the debate. That was the question given to me and him. What do you want me to answer? Something that is not related? Come on. Yan ang tinanong eh. If you have any question, bakit yun ang itinanong? Tanungin niyo yung GMA7. Hindi ako.
Okay, but this is an important issue, sir, for you, because if you win a Senate seat, will this be part of your legislative agenda, pushing for a
Yes,
mandatory drug
papalakasin ko
testing?
ang PIDEA. Palalakasin ko mandato ng PIDEA. At bibigyan ko sila ng kapangyarihan, amendahan ko yung batas na naglikha sa PIDEA. I'll give them power to conduct mandatory drug testing sa lahat ng empleyado ng gobyerno, appointed or elected. I will do that this time.
Okay. Attorney Vic, ito po ba ay magiging random or parang naka-plano yung mga magiging drug testing?
Periodic drug testing, lalo na sa elected, para makasiguro ang ating mamamayan na nasa matinong pag-iisip ang lahat ng naglilingkod sa atin. Hindi natin magalaw sa filing ng candidacy dahil wala naman yan sa ating saligang batas, yung requirement. So gawin na lang natin, pagka elected at appointed na, palakasin natin ang PIDEA. Wala namang problema, Tristan, bakit natatakot ang sambayanan na sumailalim sa drug testing. Bakit? Pag nag-positive ka, ako mismo ang magagalit pag kinundi na ka. Biktima ka rin eh. O di tulungan ka, magpa-rehabilitate ka, magpagaling ka, magpagamot ka. Pero hindi ka pwedeng kutsain, hindi ka pwedeng kundanin, magagalit ako dyan. You should be given a second chance.
Okay. Attorney Vic, going now to your senatorial bid, and even before you announce your candidacy, you've been publicly supportive of former President Rodrigo Duterte, attending even some pro-Duterte activities and endorsing yung mga statement niya rin po in the past. Does this mean, or ano na pong update pagdating sa possible endorsement sa inyo ni dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte when it comes to your senatorial bid?
He publicly endorsed me. But let me just straighten some inaccuracies sa sinabi mo. Kaya kami nagsama ni Pangulong Duterte sapagkat pareho kaming nananawagan for transparency, accountability, peace, and security in our government and in the way we are being governed. Kanya yan lumabas noong January 28, 2024 sa Davao doon sa hakbang ng Maisog. At ang una naming tinutulan at linabanan ay yung huwad na People's Initiative at Peking Charter Change. Malinaw yan kahit i-review nyo lahat ng recordings doon nung unang paglabas ng hakbang ng Maisog. Hindi kami nagsama dahil gusto namin mamulitika. And to be fair to President Duterte, marami na niya sinabi, ayaw niyang pakialaman ang national politics. Tapos na siya, naging presidente na siya. Let the incumbent president, let the present dispensation do their job. However, pag kulang na tayo sa transparency at accountability, diyan mananawagan ang hakbang ng Maisog to be more transparent and accountable katulad ng mga blanco sa Bicameral Conference Committee report.
Okay. So, tama po, no? Hindi po kayo magiging guest candidate ng PDP laban because nag-announce na rin po sila last week ng kanilang senatorial slate.
Hindi ako pwedeng magsalita on behalf of PDP laban dahil ako'y independent. Ako'y kumakandidatong independent at hakbang ng Maisog. Hindi ko pwedeng sagutin yung tanong mo, Tristan, dahil wala naman akong authority to reply on behalf of that party. So you better ask them, not me.
Okay, understandable, sir. Now, switching to the 2025 budget issue, you've mentioned na rin po a portion of it. You filed a petition challenging the validity of the 2025 General Appropriations Act. Last week, sinabi ng Pangulo sa Cebu that there are no blanks in the GAA, pero ang pinag-uusapan po talaga dito ay yung focus, ay yung bicameral conference report. So, what in your opinion is the most glaring issue in this report that makes the budget unconstitutional, Attorney Vic?
The confirmation by the executive department that there were no blanks or there are no blanks in the GAA, that is very, very good because it solidifies our case na nagkaroon tayo ng problema dahil may makakating kamay na nakialam doon sa mga blanco, sa mga patlang, 28 items in all consisting of 13 pages sa final ratified, signed, and filed Bicameral Conference Committee before the House of Representatives Bills and Index Surveys. Pag yan ay nagkaroon ng halaga, papunta doon sa enrolled bill, yung tinatawag nating GAB, merong nakialam. Yun yung ating hinahanap. Sino yung makakating kamay na nakialam dyan? If you call the Bicameral Conference Committee as the third house or third chamber, are we now safe? Is it now safe to assume that there exists a fourth house, a fourth chamber? And if there is, sino-sino yan? Babae ba siya? Lalaki ba siya? Tandem ba silang nakikialam dyan sa budget? O grupo at marami sila? Yan ang ating dapat sagutin. And it is also important na kinimpirma ng Executive Department na walang blanco sa GAA, well and good. Then it's time to produce the enrolled bill. Ilabas yung enrolled bill. Dahil pag yan, wala, may problema. Kung from Bicameral Conference Committee report, may talo, nauwi agad ng GAA, ibig sabihin, sa Malacanang ginalaw yung figures, kaya naging GAA. Ngayon naman, kung merong enrolled bill na mailalabas at dapat na ilabas na yan, sino ang naglagay ng mga halaga? These are fundamental questions na dapat sagutin. Simulan natin sa House of Representatives. Dahil just a bit of a procedure, Tristan, pagka yung final bicameral conference report ay na-file na, hindi mo na pwedeng galawin yan. Kung blanco yan, blanco yan. Ang gagawin na lamang dyan ay printing. At pag yan ay na-imprenta, yan yung tinatawag na GAB, yung General Appropriations Bill. Kung yung printed GAB, merong halaga, sino nga ang nagpuno? Huwag tayong magpagamit dito sa napakalaking anomalya at cover-up. Yun ang panawagan ko bilang Pilipino. 6.325 trillion yan eh. At yung halaga ng blanco ay umaabot sa 241 billion pesos, hindi maliit na halaga.
Okay. Attorney Vic, in the scenario that the Supreme Court ruled that the 2025 budget is invalid, what would be the government's next steps? As a legal expert, sir, how would this impact the government's ability to function? Kasi sabi po ni President Marcos, also in the same interview in Cebu, sinabi niya po na kapag dineclare na invalid, the government will shut down. Kasi yun daw pong gusto ng mga planong mag-destabilize ng government. Kasi yun daw pong gusto ng mga planong mag-destabilize ng government.
I am not in any way a destabilizer. Walang destabilizer na kumikilala sa supremacy ng ating saligang batas. The Constitution is the fundamental and paramount law of the land. Kaya kami tumakbo sa Korte Suprema. Dahil pag mali na ang Executive Department at ang Legislative Department, isang sangay na lang ang maaari mong takbuhan. At yan ay ang Judicial Department, ang Korte Suprema. Meron bang destabilizer na kumikilala sa Korte Suprema? Meron bang destabilizer na kumikilala sa ating saligang batas, sa konstitusyon? At hindi rin totoo na magsha-shutdown ng gobyerno. Why? Even if they do not have any contingency plan, framers of the 1987 Constitution already anticipated an event like this. Kaya merong provision sa ating saligang batas na pagka may mga ganitong senaryo, automatic re-enacted yung budget of the previous year. Hindi titigil ang gobyerno. Tuloy-tuloy yan. Babalik yung MOEE. Tuloy-tuloy ang sahod ng ating mga kawani sa gobyerno. Walang shutdown.
Okay. As a last question, Attorney Vic, in the last SWS senatorial survey, lumabas po yung ranking nyo. You're in the 25th to 26th position, higher than last year. Attorney Vic, less than 100 days before the May 9 elections, what do you believe will improve your numbers in the run-up to the May election, sir?
First, I do not believe in that survey. I do not believe in that survey. And even if I'm number 20, 25, 26, 20, 30, the real survey will come on May 12, 2025, hindi ngayon. And I have presented myself, it's up to the Filipino people to decide. If they will vote for me, maraming salamat po. Kung hindi naman, dahil sa tingin nila, hindi ako karapat-dapat ng inyong tiwala at mandato, walang sama ng loob, salamat pa rin. Subalit, piliin natin yung mga tamang tao na ilagay natin sa tamang pwesto. Ganun kasimple lang naman yan, Tristan.
Alright, thank you Attorney Vic Rodriguez and good luck po sir sa magiging takbo ng kampanya niyo po.
Maraming salamat, magandang umaga at salamat talaga sa pagkakataong ito.